Welcome to the Streamer Shoutcast, the series where I professionally commentate a game from one of your favorite streamers. You asked for it in the comment sections of the last video, and I'm now happy to announce that I'll be featuring the bot lane AD carry prodigy herself, YourPrincess. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Twigger, and we are back with another Streamer Shoutcast video, which I am very excited to be announcing that this time I am featuring YourPrincess, who's currently on one of her alternate accounts, Benji1 Fangirl. Amazing streamer, insanely entertaining, and the only thing that matches her entertainment value on her stream is her skill on ADC. Now, for YourPrincess's stats, might very well call her Jhin during this Streamer Shoutcast, but her main account currently sitting at Diamond 4 did also get bitten by that Season 10 bug that seems to be affecting all of us nowadays. Her main account, Diamond 4, 48% win rate, 89 wins, and 97 losses. And now, this alternate account that she's currently rocking on her stream is currently Gold 2, 53% win rate with 18 wins and 16 losses. But now, in terms of her Jhin, currently her most played champion amongst all of her accounts, on this account, she has a 90% win rating in over 10 games. With 6.4 kills, 4.6 deaths, and 13 assists, giving her a 4.22 KDA, which is pretty damn good over 10 games. But on her main account, she's got a 54% win rate on Jhin, with over 68 games, having a 6.0 kills, 5.7 deaths, and 9.5 assists, giving her a 2.72 KDA. So, you know, really impressive stats coming out of Jaden's Jhin. So I'm very excited to be commentating a game of it. In terms of her runes, kind of some interesting things that I don't normally see on Jhin players. In the Precision Tree, Fleet Footwork, Triumph, Bloodline, and Last Stand. And in the Sorcery Tree, Nimbus Cloak and Gathering Storm with some Adaptive Force and Armor in her runic stats. Now, if you do enjoy these types of videos, be sure to leave this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We do one of these videos every single week, and we release a total of 6 videos a week for your entertainment. So be sure to hit that button, and also let me know in the comment section below, what streamer do you want to see featured next? So now, getting into this, normally we do try to just focus on the streamer that we are featuring to try to see how they play their lane, how they try to get the win in their lane in particular, but we will jump back and forth with everybody in this game just to see how the game overall progresses. But now, in terms of Jhin and Nautilus, a very standard lane to see, very strong lane to see as well. Nautilus with an insane amount of CC, sorry. But it looks like they actually hit level 2 first, and it looks like the W is going to land onto that Senna, and it looks like Vayne is going to take a little bit of damage from Jhin, but the Ignite going down from the Nautilus onto the Vayne is not going to kill her, but it's still level 1 for this bot lane, so I'm not entirely sure what they're thinking continuing to fight here. The flash coming up, but unfortunately the barrier was available for that Senna, but looks like the flash is not going to be enough to get a kill. The first blood onto the Vayne. It looks like first blood was actually found in the mid lane. The Fizz ending up diving the Kassadin. Very strange to see that at level 3, but very impressive nonetheless. It looks like Kassadin is just going to TP in. But in terms of who we've got in this game, hopefully we've got a couple seconds here just to talk about that. Oh god, Nautilus is actually going to dive. Huge crit coming up from the Jhin though, and that's going to be enough, but it looks like the W from the Senna is going to hold everybody down for just a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to kill the Nautilus. And a double kill in favor of Jaden's Jhin. Very well played. Accidentally hit the pause button there instead of the O button. It looks like we do have vision on this Kazakh here. The W is not currently available for the Jhin, so he is going to be able to just jump away from that one, but man, what a huge amount of action just at the beginning of this game. So just wanted to talk very quickly about who we've got in this game, who we should be looking out for. Up in that top lane, we've got an Alawi versus a Darius. In the jungle, Kha'Zix versus Lee Sin, Fizz versus Kassadin in the mid lane, and then Jhin, Nautilus versus Senna and Vayne. So in terms of this game, I think the couple things to look at, every single lane has some pretty terrifying people in it. If Alawi really gets fed, she can basically 1v5 a team. Same thing with the Darius if he gets fed. Kha'Zix and Lee Sin can both very much carry as junglers. Fizz versus Kassadin, whoever starts getting that early lead as an assassin can start really snowballing the game, and luckily for Jaden's team, the Fizz was the one who did get that first blood over Kassadin. And then of course, Jhin and Vayne, two very big carries later on into the game. So Jhin going back with 2 kills, already has that 150 gold bounty, which is not something that you really want to see 4 minutes into this game. It's one of those things that, you know, having that bounty this early is pretty scary, but having that early BF sword at 4 minutes in, I think Jaden's going to be pretty happy going back to lane against a Vayne that has a Doran's Blade and a refillable potion, and she's coming back with a Doran's Blade, a potion, and a BF sword. So I think Jhin's gonna be pretty happy with how this lane has so far been progressing. But in terms of late game potential, you know, Kassadin, Fizz, Darius, Alawi, everybody is terrifying on this team. So we're going to try to focus on what Jhin is building, what ganks are currently going on. It looks like right now the Kha'Zix is just entering up into this top lane. Might very well be able to sneak in here to maybe have some sort of an alcove play, but we are once again fighting in this bot lane because, of course, when you're that far ahead as Jhin, oh, but it looks like the W from the Senate is going to land, knocking them both, stunning down the Nautilus and the Jhin. Once again, the crit coming down, doing an insane amount of damage. The W is going to land. Jhin taking a ton of damage and is actually going to get shut down. Just a perfect condemn coming out from that Vayne. It looks like right now the Darius is in a little bit of trouble. The tower shots are going to land onto the Kha'Zix, and that's going to be enough to kill him. Unfortunately, that flash just was not enough to get through the Darius, and it looks like it's actually a pretty good swing into the top lane. The flash Q coming out from the Lee Sin is going to be enough to secure the kill also on the Alawi. So a huge swing in terms of how this game has progressed. Now, that was just an incredible condemn coming down from the Vayne in this bot lane. Like, it was a great W from the Senna to lock down both the Nautilus and the Jhin, but then they continued fighting and the Jhin got pinned against the wall from the Vayne. So just very, very well played mechanically from this bot lane, and they did end up picking up that 150 gold bounty that was on Jhin. So now this Vayne all of a sudden sitting with 1 kill, getting that extra 150 gold alongside her kill. Kind of brings her back into this game. Now, it's, of course, far from over. Right now, Jhin is up 10 CS, 11 CS, actually. So definitely has that to look forward to. The Nautilus does have his boots and is currently just roaming, going to pick up that honey fruit. Might very well make his way over to this mid lane, but we are now seeing that Kassadin is level 6. And now, Kassadin, when he hits level 6, is just an absolute terror to deal with. Seems though he can just riff walk all the time, anywhere he wants. And it doesn't seem to cost him a whole ton of mana. So, insane late game carry. But it looks like we do have this bot lane just going over for the Scuttle Crab. Currently, the lane is pushed under their turret, so I don't think they really want to risk a turret dive. So, getting objectives where you can, picking up that Scuttle Crab just so that way they have the constant vision over Dragon for the next minute and a half. And it looks like everybody kind of knows where people are. So, they do have a great ward on this Kha'Zix who's currently waiting for his red buff. So, Lee Sin is, of course, pinging this dragon. The first dragon going down in about 7 minutes, and having it be the mountain dragon is definitely something that this team is looking forward to. And they do also have vision on this Senna. It just seems as though the vision game for the blue side is currently working wonders for them. And that is going to be the first dragon of the game going in favor of Jhin's blue side. Now, in terms of the fight, I do believe that Nautilus and Jhin is a stronger lane than Vayne and Senna, especially earlier on. Of course, you get to the point in the game where Vayne starts really picking it up, and she becomes an absolute hyper carry later on into this game, especially against the Jhin, who of course does have to reload, but you're looking for those few little crit pokes onto the Vayne and then the Nautilus to lock people down, and you should be a-okay. But looks like Kha'Zix is going to try to steal this blue buff from the Lee Sin and is going to be successful in it, and it's just going to start running up. So Lee Sin losing that buff. They do have a ward here to see that the Lee Sin is coming up, so I don't think the Kha'Zix is going to try to make a gank happen anytime soon. And it looks like they're just trying to once again poke. We've just kind of gone back to a little bit of farming. I think that the bot lane understood that they were maybe a little bit too aggressive that last fight. They did throw a little bit there, but, you know, just kind of going back to basics. The Jhin currently 49 CS to 40. So once again, just trying to keep that CS lead up. So that way you can pick up your items just a little bit sooner than that Vayne. The Nautilus going for that dredge line, but it's not going to land. The W also coming down. And it also used the Condemn to try to pin the Nautilus against the wall, but it just wasn't quite there. And it looks like right now the Glacial Augment from this end is going to do absolute work. The E coming out to actually speed them up just a little bit for the Vayne to maybe get back in range, but it's not going to be enough. But it is going to be enough when you get the Flash Q coming from this end, and now it looks like there's going to be a dive here. Jhin is going to try to get away from this one. The Fizz is roaming down with the Lee Sin. They might very well be able to stay and maybe get a couple kills here. The Senna did just take 2 turret shots, which I don't understand why that would happen. Lee Sin is going to jump in onto his castle, but of course can just jump away from that one, and Jhin did manage to get out of there alive. That was a very, very weird turn of events. The Nautilus turning back around was definitely odd. When he had like 10 HP, he turned back and ended up just getting flash queued by the Senna, so that was a free kill for them. But then fortunately enough, the Fizz and the Lee Sin were rotating at the exact right time to prevent that dive from happening on Jhin, because that was literally just fish out of water territory when you're just standing under your turret with like 3 people looking down at you. So it looks like a great hook gonna land onto that Vayne, and it looks like the W is gonna land from Jhin as well. Nautilus is gonna pick up that kill with the ignite. Now it looks like the curtain call coming down, gonna slow her. She's currently invisible in that E. That shroud is gonna keep her invisible for a while, but Jhin is currently doing a great job and landing so many of her shots with the curtain call. Beautifully done. So that was just incredibly well played by Jhin and by the Nautilus, just getting those two nice quick kills. Lee Sin currently just trying to do some damage over to this Kha'Zix. Is not going to be underneath the turret, so he is currently fine right now. The W is going to miss from the Jhin, so they're not going to be able to lock down this Kha'Zix, but they might very well go for a dive here. They do have the Nautilus alive. The Lee Sin is going to kick, get a lot of damage down. Jhin is now walking up. Lee Sin doesn't have the Sonic Wave on, and an amazing dredge line landing from the Nautilus in the midst of the Kha'Zix jump. That was just a sweet little dredge line coming out of Nautilus there. While all that was going on as well, it looks like the Darius did end up dying, and it looks like the Chum the Waters is going to land onto the Cassidy, but it looks like it was just a little bit too far underneath the turret for the Fizz. Nice flash with the E, though. The Playful Trickster is going to land, and the Triumph is going to keep him alive for just that little bit longer to absorb the tower, but it looks like the Vayne getting caught out once again by a nice dredge line, and I guess they didn't know that the Lee Sin had hung around, and that is going to be another kill onto that Vayne. Currently missing, I think she's missed like 2 to 3 of these minion waves, but it looks like they are going to go for the third time. Nautilus is going to hold this off. It looks like the ultimate is going to come up from the center, but it's not going to be enough, but an amazing W coming down from the center is going to lock the Nautilus in the turret range, and that is going to be a traded kill. But you know, once again, a traded kill, support for support, is nothing compared to the fact that Jhin has gotten all this CS and Vayne has missed like 3 waves of farm, and they've also got all of the turret plates down at 10.5 minutes into this game. So Jhin is probably sitting on a ton of gold, probably feeling fantastic about how his game is going so far, currently sitting at 3-1-4 at 11 minutes into this game. The current score, 11-4, 19.7k to 16.4k. Now, it's only about a 3.4 thousand gold lead in favor of this blue side, so it's nothing to really get insanely excited about. That's a very easy thing to come back from, but as long as this blue side keeps playing the way that they're playing, they are going to look very, very good in this mid game. Now, in terms of the top lane, we did see that the Darius did get solo killed by this Alawi, so that's something that we definitely got to watch out for. And the Kha'Zix also picked up this Rift Herald, so they're probably going to put it up in this top lane to get a little bit more gold onto this Alawi. Now, the one thing that I have learned, I didn't know this previously, but you do, oh god, Darius is going to get into a fight with this Alawi. Insane amounts of damage after landing that E, of course, and then getting your ultimate down. So much damage onto this Darius. Now, is he going to be able to dodge the tentacles? I think he will be able to. It looks like the Fizz is here, getting the Chum the Waters onto the Kha'Zix. He is invisible right now, so he's going to be able to get away for right now. Non-tower sure Fizz is going to be able to clean this one up. He is going to be able to get that one, but the Fizz did get locked down by that E from the Alawi. Currently doing so much damage, and the Q is going to be able to shut down the Fizz, so that's going to be a lot of gold going in favor of this Alawi, and we do now have the casting coming up here as well. The Darius is very, very low. I'm sorry, buddy, but you are not long for this world. He is probably going to die here. Alawi taking a lot of turret shots, though, very, very early on here. The Apprehend is going to miss. The heal coming down, but it is not going to be enough to keep him alive. A dredge line landing into the bot lane as well. This is what we really wanted to focus on. Huge crit coming down onto the Senate, and the Ignite taking down as well, but it's not currently going to be enough. The W is going to lock down both Jhin and the Nautilus. An amazing W, followed by the curtain call, is going to be enough to kill the Vayne. And can we land the other one's 1 shot, 2 shots, and a double kill going in favor of Jaden's Jhin. So well played by this bot side. Now, there was a bit of a mistake there with Jhin walking into the Senna W that was on the Nautilus, did lock both of them down, but to be honest, when you get the double kill, you don't look at those mistakes, you just go very, very well played. Now, the Rift Herald was dropped in the mid lane and did take a few turrets, and the Lee Sin currently trying to chase here. They do have the Fizz here as well, who does not have his ultimate up for another 5 seconds or so, so they're not going to be able to be too aggressive. But what I was trying to say previously about the Rift Herald is that you want to drop it when it's on these lower plates. It does 2.5 turret plates, I believe, and the earlier plates are much easier to kill than the lower plates. So since it does true damage, you want to do 2.5 plates of the harder to kill plates rather than the early plates. So looks like Lee Sin did manage to get that red buff stolen from the Kha'Zix, and an amazing kick that was just an alley-oop into the Fizz Q. That was absolutely insane. Darius once again taking an insane amount of damage from this Alawi. The Playful Trickster is being used, and he's going to use minions with that Q just to get out of there. So, man, we are seeing a really big difference here, but here comes Lee Sin. Chum the Waters barely landing onto that Kha'Zix, and is it going to be enough to get a kill? Yes, the Playful Trickster once again is going to come in and secure the kill on that one. Huge range on that Chum the Waters. But just kind of looking at the game, we've got Jhin and we've got Fizz and Lee Sin doing very, very well for their team, but we do have a very terrifying Alawi, currently almost doubling the CS of this Darius, 140 71 CS to 74, which is absolutely insane to see that type of a margin in this ELO. But Jhin is going to get locked down once again with the Nautilus. They are trying to chase down this Kha'Zix. The ultimate was used, and it looks like the Dredge Line is going to miss. Right now, the Glacial Augment is working wonders against that Lee Sin, kind of stopping this from engaging. But actually, Jhin did end up getting that kill, so I do want to go back here and just watch what happens. So the W lands, the Nautilus uses that ultimate, knocks him up, but unfortunately they were both kind of stunned at that second. So the Dredge Line misses, but Jhin is just chasing very, very fast, of course, with that fleet footwork and the crits coming out. So that is once again just going to be a very, very nice kill. 6-1-4. The ultimate coming down from the Alawi as well because she got that E onto the Darius. So much damage coming down, and Darius is already insanely low. She's currently going for the tower dive, but it's not going to be enough to actually secure a kill. Just a little bit too fast from that Darius and too much damage coming down from that turret. But the blue side did end up securing their second dragon of the game. It was an Infernal Dragon, so a Mountain and an Infernal in favor of Jaden's blue side. And right now the Kha'Zix is just sitting under this turret. The Chum the Waters is once again not available. Dredge Line is going to miss, and of course the Rift Walk is just going to get that Kassadin over to safety. And that is going to be the second turret of the game going in favor of this blue side. Now, in terms of her items, she's of course got that Infinity Edge, also has a Zeal currently picked up, and Boots of Swiftness. And of course, she's maxing her Q first, W second, followed by her E, and of course, getting her ultimate whenever she can. The red buff is currently available. I believe the Lee Sin said, "Here, Jaden, you take this." Because currently we've got a very fed Jhin, and I think you really want to nourish that fed Jhin so that way she continues to carry you throughout this game. But to be honest, everybody on this blue side is playing very, very well, other than the Darius, who I feel like just kind of got a bit outmatched early, and now Alawi is kind of snowballing that lead. He did, of course, pick up a Bramble Vest, which I believe is very smart because it does apply that Grievous Wounds. You always are surprised with how much Alawi ends up healing, especially when she gets that ultimate down. So any type of healing reduction in Grievous Wounds is going to be very, very important for that Alawi. You do have now the lane swap. It looks like the Vayne and the center are going to go to the top lane, and Alawi's going to come down to the bot side. It's going to be curious because we're just going to see Jaden's fed Jhin against this fed Alawi. I'm not entirely sure which one wins that one, but it looks like the Energizer Crystal, the Kirchie's Shard, I always forget how to say that. I just call it the Energizing Crystal. But it's going to be picked up, and of course the Rapid Fire Cannon coming down for Jaden's Jhin. So 16 minutes into this game, and she has completed Boots, completed Rapid Fire Cannon, and an Infinity Edge, which is absolutely insane. Now looks like the Nautilus is going to get caught out a little bit here. The Fizz is here as well. Does not have the Chum the Waters available, so can't really get this Nautilus out of here. But it looks like the jump coming down from the Kha'Zix, the Playful Trickster has been used by the Fizz. He also doesn't have a stopwatch or a of Zhonya's Hourglass. He actually does have a stopwatch, so in case he gets put in a really bad position, but it looks like Lee Sin doing a lot of damage, and the Jhin is going to get that Curtain Call onto the Kha'Zix to get that last hit, and another Curtain Call is going to land on the Kha'Zix to get another kill. So the Kassadin, and it looks like right now, though, the Alawi doing an insane amount of damage, but the crit shot does come down for Jaden's Jhin, and it looks like a triple kill for the Jhin, and a triple kill from the Alawi. Absolutely insane amounts of damage, but man, I would really love to see a pentakill here. Not entirely sure if it's going to happen. A great connection from that Nautilus. W is going to be able to secure the kill onto the Vayne, and it looks like a quadra kill coming out from the Jhin. It was an unofficial quadra kill, but we gotta report this Nautilus for stealing the penta, because I feel like that was Jaden's penta. And if it weren't for that Nautilus, you can't really argue it. You know, it was definitely a good play on everybody there. But man, Jaden's damage right now is absolutely insane. But the thing is, what we always have to look for here is that the Alawi's damage is also insane. So, you know, we're eventually going to get to the point in this game where it's going to basically be, can you kill the Alawi? And the thing is, Jhin is not fantastic at dealing with tanks. Right? You don't really have that percentage health damage that you're looking for like a Vayne does or a Kog'Maw does. You're not building Blade of the Ruined King, which will take people down faster. You're not building things like Black Cleaver to reduce their armor. You're basically just focused on crit. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what Jhin builds to try to make this work against this Alawi. And as I'm saying that, ends up going back and picking up an Executioner's Calling. So that was exactly what I was hoping she was going to build, just because the crits aren't really going to do a lot to get through this Alawi, and she already has a Death's Dance on her as well. So she is going to be healing an insane amount. So if our blue side doesn't start building a lot of Grievous Wounds just to try to stop that healing, they're going to be in a world of hurt when it comes to big team fights in small corridors. Now, the second Rift Herald is going to get picked up. It is going to be picked up by the blue side this time, so they will have that just barely about a minute and a half before that despawn to actually make room for that Baron. And in terms of CS here, just kind of talking about how everybody's doing, still a big difference in favor of that Alawi. 177 to 90. 122 for the Lee Sin in favor of him. 68 for the Kha'Zix, and also 0-6, unfortunately, for him. And then we've got 115 to 126, pretty even in the mid lane, and then 133 to 97 in favor of our Jhin. So very, very well played from this blue side. It looks like the dragon is coming up very, very soon. It is going to be the ocean dragon. That is going to be the soul that's available later on into this game. I can pretty safely say that you do not want this Alawi to have an ocean soul. I think that's going to be pretty terrifying. But it looks like the Lee Sin and the Fizz together have enough mobility to get a kill onto that center. So already starting this fight in a 4v5 situation. Right now the Kha'Zix is doing Wolf, so he's not even around to contest this. But once again, the Alawi is kind of jumping in. She does have her ultimate available, so she could very well get a very, very big ultimate with multiple people. But the Nautilus taking so much damage from this Alawi. The E once again is landing onto this Darius, and right now they are just going to need to either engage in this one or stop taking poke from this Alawi. The W is going to land from Jaden, so it is going to lock down the Alawi for just a little bit, but everybody is a little bit unhealthy here. I'm not entirely sure if this is a fight that they want to take. I would figure that. So there was the flash coming out of Jaden as well. I guess just a little bit worried of the damage. Chum the Waters is going to land, and the ultimate coming down for Jaden as well. The Kha'Zix is currently behind, currently invisible. Jumping immediately onto the Jhin, which is right in the middle of her curtain call. Just gets absolutely popped by this Kha'Zix, and it looks like that is a fight that they did not want to take. Alawi's going to TP over to this turret just to make sure that this Rift Arrow doesn't do too much damage. The Kha'Zix, I do not believe has his jump quite yet. No, 1 second away from that one. The turret is going to go down from that Rift Arrow, but man, I feel like that was just a mistake from this blue side that, you know, you did not need to continue chasing that fight. And unfortunately, Jaden did have a fantastic curtain call there. But curtain call does leave you very, very vulnerable, especially to a Kha'Zix who goes invisible and then just chases you down and gets that isolated damage. So, you know, not the best fight. There were a lot of poke was being taken from that Alawi just landing her E's, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. But, oh, is the Kha'Zix going to be found out? There's a lockdown. He's probably going to wait for this dredge line. Oh, he misses the dredge line. So a really nice jump from that Kha'Zix to get him out to safety. But right now, Jaden's sitting at 10, 2, and 5. Did go back and picked up that last Whisper, so it's going to probably become a mortal reminder. Well, I know it's going to become a mortal reminder. So that's going to do some healing reduction to that Alawi, but once again, we're seeing during that last fight that, you know, this Alawi is absolutely gigantic. So if they get into a big team fight, I very much worry about this blue side. So Fizz is currently chasing down this Kha'Zix. The Lee Sin is here as well. The Chum the Waters is going to miss, and also the Sonic Wave is going to miss. So the Kha'Zix is going to be able to walk out of that one with his Rift Walk. And it looks like the blue side now going to clear out some Baron Vision. The Senna is currently pretty squishy, so if the Nautilus lands a hook on this Senna, they should probably be able to take her down very, very quickly, especially with the crits, the big crits coming out of Jaden. But Alawi right now currently once again facing off against this Sarah. The ultimate is going to go down. Look at the damage from those tentacles. Holy crap! That was just an immediate pop from that Alawi after popping that ultimate. That was absolutely insane. The Nautilus is going to miss that dredge line, but it looks like the W from the Senna is going to land onto Jhin, but they're not going to actually engage on that one. So, as I was saying before, you have got this terrifying Alawi that is now going to take probably multiple members to kill. Fizz is now going down to try his luck at it, but the Nautilus is going to try to get onto this Kha'Zix. Currently, sorry, Cassidy. I'm going to keep on mixing those two up. Currently a 4v3 in this mid lane. Fizz is going for this Alawi. She does not have her ultimate available, but it looks like the Chum the Waters is going to come out. Big damage going to come down. She is still very, very tanky with those Merc Treads against this Fizz, but is going to probably go down for that one. The Senna is going to use her ultimate, but it looks like it's not going to be enough to clean it. We have Sonic Wave going to land onto the Cassidy, and the Kha'Zix also going to die as well. Huge long-range dredge line onto the Senna is going to be enough to shut down that Senna, and the curtain call is coming down. Going to land one onto the Vayne. Going to have to flash away from that one. The W is just barely going to miss. Looks like the safeguard coming down to Lee Sin, trying to get a kill onto this Lee Sin. The flash! Trying to get that Sonic Wave onto the low HP Vayne, but it is not going to be enough. Now, it looks like the Alawi actually killed the Fizz. I don't know how that happened. Should we go and... We should rewind this, shouldn't we? So, somehow, during that... So the Alawi was insanely low. The Chum the Water comes out. I just want to know how this happened because the Fizz was at full HP. The Alawi does not have her ultimate available. Sorry, it's going to be the direct to camera on that one. Goes insanely low, continues to heal with that Death Dance, and just manages to kill him. Flashes away from the Playful Trickster. Holy God! This Alawi is gigantic and is healing up a ton. I do not know what the blue side is going to do against her, and I'm just so excited to see her damage at the end of this game. So once again, the E gonna land. The ultimate is available. Once again, this is how Darius died the last time. He's gonna get solo killed again on cooldown with that ultimate. You can see the pings coming down from the blue side on this Alawi. So the Darius died because he got hit by that E, and then the ultimate came out and she just soloed him. And then the ultimate comes back up on cooldown. The Darius runs back in, gets solo killed again by this Alawi. I just don't know what this team does. They have to send multiple people down. Like, I don't even think, even as fed as Jhin is, I don't even think that a Jhin is going to be able to kill this Alawi right now. I think they need to send multiple people to try to kill that Alawi and then go for an objective like Baron. But man, so Alawi went back, picked up the Steerix Gauge, and also got a Spectre's Cowl. So once again, just she's gonna have armor, she's gonna have magic resistance, she's going to have life steal, and she's gonna get that extra shield from the Steerix Gauge when she engages. So she's so tanky and does so much damage. So I'm very curious. I'm curious to see what the blue side does to try to deal with this absolute behemoth that is the red side top laner. Now, Jhin and Lee Sin are currently kind of caught in no man's land here. They are just going to be, there are so many members of this red team that if they checked up there, these would probably be 2 carries that would be dead. But Jaden going back, going to be very curious to see what she picks up. Does finish off that Mortal Reminder. So 10, 2, and 8, and does also go back and picks up a Cloak of Agility and an additional dagger. So going to be curious to see what she builds that into. Man, I just don't even know what you do here. It's going to be a pretty intense team fight, and the thing is, I feel like what you should do as this red side now is really try to utilize your Alawi. Go for things like the Baron and try to bait the enemy team into this Baron pit where Alawi can get a big ultimate down, because if you have a lot of tentacles in the Baron pit and then you get that big ultimate off after Eing somebody, you are going to do work. So it looks like the Lee Sin did get hit by that E. It's going to do a lot of damage to him, and it's going to slow him down a lot. So the Curtain Call is going to come out. Lots of damage is going to come down from this one. Looks like they're trying to target this Vayne. Looks like the Senna actually taking a ton of damage. An amazing 4th shot onto that Senna, who's taking the Baron for such a long period of time. Ends up going down. The Nautilus is going to get that ultimate onto the Vayne. It looks like a huge crit, followed by a dancing grenade. Is going to be enough to kill the Vayne. It looks like Jhin is just kind of standing in the back, just biding time. That's going to be a triple kill for the Jhin. Alawi doing a lot of damage. Oh, has a ton of those tentacles up. Alawi is going to fall to the Lee Sin, though, and that is going to be an ace. The Fizz picking up the last kill of that fight, and Jhin, our Jaden, is still alive, and it looks like the blue side is going to set their sights on this Baron after an incredible fight. That was exactly what they needed. I've got to admit, though, that was a terrifying amount of damage coming down from that Alawi, though. But the Senna being caught out in that Baron pit with the Curtain Call was an incredible start to the fight. Senna didn't get to use her ultimate. She didn't get any of the lockdown. She didn't get the heals off. So that just ended up being a perfect fight for this blue side. Now, the dragon is currently available, and it is the 4th dragon for this team. So it looks like the Jhin and the Lee Sin are going to run over to this as fast as possible. But now the Kha'Zix, the Kassadin, the Vayne, and the Senna are all up. So if they started running there right now, they might be able to find time to stop this. But, you know, with the Jhin and the Lee Sin, Jhin just does so much damage to this dragon. So that is going to be the Ocean Soul going in favor of the blue side. So some pretty impressive stuff. Of course, the Ocean Dragon Soul regenerates a ton of health and mana over 4 seconds upon damaging an enemy. So, you know, one of those things, if the Alawi had got that buff as well, that probably would have been insane for Alawi. But Jaden did go back, picked up that Phantom Dancer, so is going to have that little bit of an additional shield, kind of like a budget Steerix, if you will. So gonna keep her a little bit safer, gonna go for that rev up as well, doing thousands of damage with crits. That is absolutely insane. It's always nice to see when your AD carry is sitting at 13, 2, and 10. But, you know, you still got to look at the other side of this coin. 251 CS, 11, 3, and 1 for this Alawi. So the ultimate is going to come down. Lots of damage coming down as well. The Vayne is also here, but gets absolutely chunked by Jaden on that one. But you're just seeing all these people are so low already. Jaden is going to start using that Curtain Call to try to get some damage. But once again, it's just hitting this Alawi, which is not doing a hell of a lot. The Nautilus is now here, going to get that ultimate down. Then the best part about Nautilus is just knocking up and stopping that Alawi from getting those W's down. Jaden is trying to run for her life right now. It is going to get shut down as well, though. The Kassadin is going to go down to Jaden as well, but the Darius picking up a kill onto the Vayne and Senna going down by the hands of this Fizz. It is now just the Kassadin that's alive, and it looks like we have Baron empowered minions and a Baron empowered super minion walking into this base where it's just the Nexus turrets holding this base alive. So absolutely insane fight there. The thing that you need to do to cancel this Alawi out is knocking her up, CCing her so she can't get her W, which makes sure that she can't knock the tentacles down, which is what's healing and doing so much damage. So very well played final fight. A little bit of mispositioning from that Alawi, and I feel like that is actually going to be the end of this game. The Alawi did leave. Jaden is not going to be there for the final blow of this Nexus, but incredible game coming down from Jaden's Jhin. Absolutely loved it. All of her links, of course, are going to be in the description below, but before we look into those links, let's go and check out how much damage everybody did this game. In terms of the endgame stats, Jhin absolutely killed it this game, ending off with 14 kills, 3 deaths, and 13 assists, which is what you love to see on an ADC. And in terms of damage, it really was the clash of the titans this game, with Jhin dishing out 34,407 damage, and the Alawi just behind her with over 30k. I hope you all enjoyed this streamer shoutcast, and be sure to hit that like button if you did, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let me know in the comment section below what streamer you'd like to be featured next in the next streamer shoutcast.